Hi, hello everybody, and welcome to the This Week in the Tech Boy podcast. As we alluded to in our podcast trailer from this week on Sunday, we have so much to get into today. In fact, we might have been wrong about this very key and pressing issue that we were able to interview a whole bunch of kids to talk about this as well. Of course, we're going to talk about the college football rankings, and we all learned that there's like 12 quadrillion ways to spell Macy, who knows? Anyway, there's like 15 million ways to spell that name. OSINT, whatever. But we got so much news to get into today. I actually have two phones that I have to do with because I wrote notes on both phones. Anyway, let's get into our tech headlines first. And Apple is being ridiculous as usual, which is fun. It brightens up my day after Alabama lost. At least Texas A&M won, so that's good. Anyway, let's go check in over on the best tech website on the internet, TheTechBoy.org, about our tech headlines. And we got to talk about this Apple sock. And, I did not to beat to this story, so that is great. Good for us over there as well. But what on earth is this? Honestly, anyone who pays money for this shouldn't be allowed to vote. This is right up there with that. What's that phone? That phone that, was the A15, but just stripped features from it and then made you pay. The Wise phone. Yeah, they made you pay to have access to your own applications with this. What is this, guys? This is a sock that you put on your iPhone, or you can tie around a bag, and it costs $200, $150 if you want a different version for this as well. It doesn't even support the iPhone 16e, which I find very funny because the iPhone 16e is one of the quote-unquote budget iPhones. It's still $600, and yet they still will not give you access to this sock thingy. Which, how do you even know if it doesn't have access to this phone? The iPhone 16e is like 6.1 inches. I mean, these other phones are also around 6.1 inches. It supports the iPhone 10, the iPhone 7. I don't understand. What is this, Apple? Why? Who is Apple really this out of ideas that they're like, hey guys, we're gonna make this sock and we're gonna make it great. We're gonna make it nice and big for your phone. I mean, come on, this is ridiculous. I mean, even Apple should be able to come up with better ideas than this. And at $200, I mean, honestly, again, I'm pro free market. I'm against price controls, but anyone who buys this, I don't know. I don't know. What are you doing, people? What are we doing? Seriously, do not buy this Apple stock. I mean, you can find something like this on Amazon in 3 weeks for $9. I guarantee you that. I mean, there is no possible way that there isn't going to be a ripoff of this. And also, how are you supposed to patent this? This is just a sock with a hole in it. Holy socks have already existed before an Apple. You can't patent those. You can't trademark those. Yeah, I really don't see how this is going to be working well for Apple. It just does not make sense. What are we doing, Apple? What are we doing? Anyway, on to the next tech headline. Importing fonts onto Motion Ninja. You guys can go check that out. Of course, going back to my Motion Ninja work again. And the best feature on Android. So Android, I kind of feel has stagnated, but I do like this feature. It's kind of hard to find new TV shows, new interesting things to watch. I have watched Sleepover before, but I haven't signed back into TV, which is why it did recommend me this. But Sleepover is a great movie. I've watched it twice. It's really interesting. Now, is it realistic? No, not really, because you have these like 8th, 9th graders. Some of them got held back, whatever. Hiding out and driving around their town, which doesn't make sense because obviously these 9th graders cannot drive. Hopefully, I mean, it's crazy enough that we let 16-year-old drive, 14 and 15-year-olds going around and driving. That really doesn't make sense. They even have like the 7th grader who has this like cheap electric small car that's able to drive. It really doesn't make sense. Doesn't really hold up. I do like the technology that they have in the movie. I mean, you have them using, cell phones, of course. You have them, but it's from like 2004, so they're kind of older cell phones. You have them using what's that program called? Some sort of video chatting program and chatting program over the internet, and it's really cool because it's like the little NATO head station. It's like their little NATO base. And I think back then, before they had all the smartphones, right, the kids were using technology to the fullest power. I mean, this is a movie that's 21 years old, and they're over there sitting there using video chat over their MacBooks. It's always the MacBooks in these teen movies. They do this in the Click movie as well with his kid, Massey, I believe, spelled in one of the 15 quadrillion ways that you can spell Massey. has a computer, and she's doing her State of the Union report on the computer on Apple Pages, and she's writing it there. And this is pre-iMessage, and she sends out chat messages as well. And when you talk about these teen girl cliques, that are going around and they do stuff in school now. Of course, we talk about GCam in the SSA LTW series, which I have compiled some of the funniest quotes from the SSA LTW series. Maybe we can read through some of that as well. But we talk about these cliques. They have the GCam chat interface. We talk about how they're all running around and doing stuff, and they come together, and of course they bring in Summer as well. But these clicks, they were probably a lot more powerful back then, pre-iPhone, or maybe at the very beginnings of the iPhone, as we see in this movie. The click, it's from like 2009, so they're using the iPhone 3GS. One of the kids has that movie as well. I think some of the other kids have some more basic phones as well, but they're a lot more powerful. They're using all this access to power and prestige and technology. And I've always had this obsession with these movies, and maybe even seeing some of the stuff in real life. But I didn't actually believe that some of the stuff that we've seen in the movies actually exists in real life. I thought, of course, it made sense that they're just making stuff up, for fun, to have fun and stuff like this. But apparently they're not actually making stuff up, which, I mean, it's insane if you think about it. But these people, I've always had this obsession with them. They're getting out of the Jeep, and then they like start waving or something like that. It's so cool. They have access to this high technology. Those preppy school novels, where you have like a rich 11th grade teen or something like that, set in the upper northeast. It's so cool. And I always like that aesthetic. I guess in real life and in the books, I've never really seen it in real life. But we do have those kids on Instagram who sit on top of the trucks. But I don't really think that counts as real life. My belief was, Instagram doesn't count as real life. The movies and Adventure Odyssey doesn't count as real life. And that should be true. That doesn't really make sense. And of course, I'm going to go through some of the books that I have been recommended. Let me see if I can show this to you on the screen. Podcast network, news network. Where's my book? Where's my book recommendation? Yes, here we go. YA Lit. I guess this is the thing here. And the problem is that with my obsession with this as well, of course, I turn over to the people, quote unquote, over on Reddit, and let's go see what the people who have recommended me books like this, books like The Click, books based like the movie on Sleepover. Man, they really messed up how you show a screen on Restream. This new studio is horrible. But anyway, and when you look at all these book recommendations, I got 7.7 thousand views. Look at all these book recommendations. You got stuff in here from like Meg Cabot, and all these book recommendations. They're all good, which is really sad. Yeah, okay, I guess Sarah Wheeler, and then of course you find out that the person in the book is a girl. And I mean that's the problem with this. I always have this obsession with it, but I have the 2009, 2004 obsession, and the world unfortunately moved on, and it's all trash and stuff like that. So it doesn't really make sense. They're all horrible book recommendations. Don't go over to Reddit. All right. But anyway, what isn't trash and what is actually good for your phone would be this widget that you can add, the Google Play Store widget. So other than recommending golden movies like the Sleepover and Hotel for Dogs, that's what it's recommending me right now. Great movie right here. And the great television show Saved by the Bell, where Zach Morris, for some stupid reason, gives some random kid the presidency because he wanted to win the presidency because he wanted to go to a trip to Washington, D.C., which is apparently horrible and bad or whatever. It doesn't really make sense. Zach Morris was a much more charismatic candidate. I mean, he was he was the people's choice. Okay, Zach Morris, for half the election, tried to lose. He intentionally tried to lose after they told him that the trip to Washington, D.C. was canceled, and he still won. Had this kid gone full throttle ahead, this person would have seen an election like 1984. Even Minnesota would have voted for Zach Morris. Okay, it would have been over for whoever that other random kid was. Okay, she lost by one vote, 300 to 300 and something, and she was actually trying the entire election. He stopped trying throughout the entire election. He should have been president. He shouldn't have given up. If I was given the opportunity to become student council president and go to Washington, D.C., I wouldn't be sitting around and feeling guilty that I won an election because I wanted something forward. Okay, I mean, if I'm going to come up to school on a Saturday morning and start sitting around and try to help make all these little heathens better, I'm at least going to get something good out of it. I'm not going to feel bad about it, but whatever. He's much more idyllic than I would be. I would wield that power. And one thing that we need to talk about is that people do not understand how to wield power anymore. Okay, when we're going to turn back to Reddit, like I said, we have so much stuff to get into, but these people do not know how to wield power. One kid became popular, and his parent was freaking out over on Reddit because the children of Redditors are probably in a Scrooge place already. Anyway, and here's the best feature on Android. It also recommends you movies, television shows, and books, and these video games. Now, some of these video games aren't that good. Okay, I mean, look at this. You get these like instant play games as well. Google, Samsung Galaxy also introduces these as well. But what I really like is the feature on the screen. You can see it here. Man, that's a horrible resolution of a screenshot, but it's the bottom button here, guys, and it opens up your app library. I'm gonna see if I can show you guys on the screen. It opens up your app library so you can see all the apps that you have most used. So my top used applications would be Google and the Google Chrome application, Edge, for some reason, Libby, Messages, Motion Ninja, Retro Bowl, Tubi, and YouTube. And then we got the recently added application, which we got the Golf Clash app, which for some reason I tried using it on the plane. It didn't work. You need Wi-Fi to use golf to play golf on your phone, this is the absolute state of mobile gaming on Android. It's so ridiculous that you need Wi-Fi to do the most basic things. I mean, come on, a golf game should be able to work offline. I'm so sorry about that as well. Then we got the Mountain West game, Mountain West. TV streaming stuff, so I can see basketball games. The New York Times, because you can get that for free throughout your library, theme park, stuff like that as well. And then it's able to automatically sort your apps, which is something that I have wanted on One UI for years. People automatically sort your apps into filters. Here is Snickersy. I don't have time for this. But anyway, Snickersy says he's John Hecklefield Jr., the whatever. All right, yeah. Anyway, it's able to automatically put all your apps into collections, which is so great because these collections are able to they're actually pretty good collections. I mean, let's go into the business section here, and I'm going to tell you the stuff that applications I'm going to tell you about. Engage, Salesforce, and Workday. That is business communication. Let's see what it puts in here. Contacts, Dialer, Gmail. For some reason, it puts a keyboard app in there. SSH app doesn't really make sense, but then everything else is great. Google Meet, Messages, again, Outlook, Scam Sealed, Spoof Core, Talk About, and Talk ACR are all communications applications. And I think this is really doing a good job because it's drawing on what the Google Play Store identifies the applications as. I mean, this is what we should be using technology for. For finance, Coinbase, Good Budget, Moneyfy, NerdWallet, Rocket Money, Stock Events, and Wallet. 9 for 9, I believe. Food, Chipotle, Chick-fil-A, and Domino's. Listen, then we got Keys for Kids, Radio, Faith and Fun for everyone. And, I'd be able to listen to this Faith and Fun if someone who's listening to the stream didn't get Alexa Man for the 15th time. But anyway, we got KHCB, Music, Music Visualizer, Michaelette, Noise Reductor, Playbooks. I don't know what it's in Listen, but okay. Pocket Cast, Radio Garden, and WavePad 3. Again, nearly perfect. Sports, what we have in here. And I think this is peak in here. This is peak. It's able to identify the Mountain West streaming app as a sports application. Sleeper, Yahoo Fantasy, ESPN, and ESPN Fantasy. Great job for sports as well. And then has Watch. What is happening there for Watch? CBN Family. Yeah, that counts as well. Disney, ESPN, TBN Plus, Google TV, Haystack News, Pluto TV, Tubi, TVGenius.com, and YouTube. Again, nearly perfect. This is great. And then when you go over into Watch, you can recommend you television shows, which are even within the applications that have been mentioned, including Pluto TV and Tubi TV, which means you're not having to pay for them. The streaming services are free, which is great. Now, talking about how we might have been wrong. I know, shocker. It's never happened on this channel ever again. But as you guys know, these kids have always been talking about going to parties and stuff like that. We're like, what parties are y'all people talking about? Parties obviously don't exist. They're made up by the fake. They're fake. Okay, it's like it's an Invention Odyssey. Shannon's having these parties. Okay, that's from the 80s. And Invention Odyssey is an audio drama. It's fake. It's from movies and books. They're fake because obviously we don't want to read some book about kids who just sit around and do nothing. Like, when you go and look up what do kids do for fun, you type that in. What do the kids do for fun? You know what the number one search result is when you type in type it in. It's kids just sit around and do nothing. I mean, in fact, you can go to the front page of Reddit and be like, hey guys. So what's up with kids these days? They just want to play on their PlayStation and on their Xboxes, and of course, as you guys have heard me say multiple times, you don't even have a sidewalk up here, so it's not like I could check any of that stuff out anyway. Anyway, but I was able to interview some people here, and Snickersy keeps spamming GCam in the chat. GCam in the chat. You know how funny it would be if we could intercept GCam's chat. But I was able to interview some people here. And, oh, look, Marshall Mo YT. When is Marshall Mo YT finally going to make a video? I do not pay you to sit around and not make videos. Anyway, I was able to interview some people here, including, let's see if we can pull up our interview from November 12th. Oh, what? Wrong finger point. There we go. Nope. Wrong one. Nope. There it is. That's the correct lock note here. Yeah. So, according to what's your name, Kate. Yeah. There we go. According to Kate, she likes to hang out with friends, made with sports. Who wrote these? And talking to people. Go to the beach, and she's never run or voted in a high school election. But when you see this, we actually talk about there's this school in Wisconsin that's actually like some in the schools in these rich areas of town where they have car crashes, and the kids actually crash their cars, and it's kind of like Down Gideon Lane, how Tom Richter 30 years ago had a drunk driving crash. He had these kids crashing cars like BMWs. I read about stuff like that on Reddit. Think it was actually real life, and they said that they actually go to parties as well, which is ridiculous. I couldn't believe it. I actually couldn't believe it because I've never heard of anything like this happening in real life. I've never actually seen one before. I mean, I've never been able to see anything like this. I mean, as an expert, I thought, anything like it, but, I was able to interview kids, and they said that they actually did. Now, they could be making this up. They could be all in on this media scam from the Adventure Odyssey and from the news, but, who knows? Who knows what they've been up to? And, they've been invited to and have gone to teen parties, which I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. They actually said this, and of course, he had the rich school in Wisconsin with the car crashes, and like it's preppy, like in the books. These people, Meg Cabot is actually writing books that are realistic. I thought Meg Cabot was just like idealistic, writing some random book about Iowa or something. Man, my goodness, this is wow. Who could have seen this coming? Honestly, so. Do you know what this means, guys, though? It means that the books and media that people are reading are actually realistic, which actually means that maybe we should use that to study, which is, who knows? Who knows what we'll see next? I mean, that's why I like to read Reddit and listen to Focus on the Family and read all these parenting teenagers magazines, is because it's really interesting to intercept what the people over there are talking about, because some like parenting today's teens, what a great radio program, what a great radio program that is, because it's just so funny. So funny. Oh my goodness. It's kind of it's kind of like fear mongering if you think about it, but it's funny fear mongering because of like teens that do crazy stuff that you see in the movie, and they'll be like, well, no, my teen's gonna do this, and of course no one does it because we don't have cyber. Yeah, but parenting. Yeah, the parenting teenagers subreddit is fun. So, parenting teens. And I'm gonna pull up this this very important post here. This Reddit has a very important message for all of us. Yes, guys. Let's. I'm gonna pull it up. Let's do most recent. Yes. This person posted a plea for help on Reddit here. It says, son became popular overnight. I don't know what to do. Horrible thing. This is so funny because, if you think about it, the percentage chance of a Redditor becoming popular is probably not going to happen. Just given what they are and being a Redditor's offspring. I mean, I weep for this person. So bad for him. Anyway, Quote, let's read this whole thing in actuality because it's very funny. So my son moved schools and changed his image over the summer, 16 years old. With the new school came new friends. He moved somewhere else, loads of his sports friends, so automatically has gone up the popularity ladder. Anyway, his old school, he was kind of nerdy and weird. He was always drawn to kids with disabilities. I married him for this. A lot of his friends were physically and mentally disabled, and he's friends with the exchange student that spoke 3 words. He also never showered or brushed his teeth. All that changed over the summer, and off to the new school, he went with his hair tidy, showering daily and brushing his teeth, all of the brand new wardrobe. All of a sudden, every girl wants him. Previously, being the social outcast, I think he's loved the female attention, and it's felt like he can't turn girls down as he enjoys this attention from them. My issue is he's playing girls and creating drama. He's upsetting loads of girls, so I leave it be, let him face. What else could I do? Now, before we get to the comments, let's just look at this post in all of its glory. Yes, this Redditor actually got mad that his son is bathing and brushing his teeth. You cannot make this stuff up. also, oh no, 16-year-old girls are mad at him? Well, what's next? What are we going to do? I mean, this is obviously a threat to national security. It's horrible. I mean, he's cooked. He's over. He's done for. I mean, they're gonna have a protest outside of his street. Like the time all those kids protested outside of some kid's house so that his parents would break him free from, what do they call it, being grounded. Yeah. Wow. I mean, if anything, this kid's obviously go read the great and federally approved website, ssatw.blogspot.com, which teaches you what to do when a whole bunch of teen girls get mad. Because as you guys know, when they get mad and they get mad at each other, then they start fighting world wars and we have to go in and intervene. Let's not forget World War V, in which SSA had to save and stabilize Hazel from Valerie, who was just absolutely nuking Hazel. You know, it would have helped if Hazel had decided to show up to school in the middle of a war. Who would have thought that showing up would have actually made your popularity points go higher? But, you know, whatever. I'm not her foreign policy advisor. And unfortunately, her foreign policy dipped down to low 40s. So there's no shot of her becoming president, no shot of Sharma becoming president, whatever. What is this? What is this? Anyway. But, I mean, this kid has the opportunity to run for president of his high school. He's loved by his fans. It doesn't seem like he's doing anything wrong. Girls get mad over a bunch of random stuff. They'll be fine. Okay? He'll be fine. He'll be fine. And as long as they're not angry at him as much as they're angry with each other, he will maintain popularity. What the son should be doing is going on and making sure he can maintain popularity. He literally stands at the precipice of victory, and his dad is over here whining on the internet, asking these people, what should I do? And the advice is horrid. It's horrid here in the comment sections. My older kid has always been popular. If there's a lesson, he's winning it. Teachers have done his work for him. Holy guacamole. This is great. And, you know, here's some take here as well. He says, anyway, you need to sit down and talk to him about it. Yes, son. Why are you showering, and why do people like you now? Let's have a discussion about this. This shouldn't be happening. People should not be liking you. You know, he says, steer back in the power mode. Listen, with popularity comes responsibility. Responsibility. Well, I have not seen a single illegal thing that this person has actually done. Let's have a discussion about this, people. We need to sit down. No popularity allowed in my house. That's a felony. Okay. This person can't spell rolls correctly. It always annoys me. Like, well, it's ROLES, not rolls reverse. Rolls reverse is like if you're having Thanksgiving and you're eating some dinner roll. Okay. My son didn't switch schools, but now he's popular with girls and has a social life. So he wants that stuff. He'll learn. This person says he'll learn. He'll learn what? What's he supposed to be learning? You know, these people. I don't know. And it's beyond parody. You can't really believe what you see on here. I mean, you know, they're talking about parties existing, but now kids don't do anything anymore. But we actually have confirmed proof that parties do exist. So, well, remember that time I said I was going to investigate the TikTokers like 7 months ago? And we haven't seen a single TikToker. So hey, we'll commit to the same thing. We'll investigate parties. We'll go undercover people. I don't actually have an actionable plan for that, but you know, if any of you people in the chat has a strategy on this. Oh, please come out with that as well. But let's talk about the depth of multimedia software as well as the depth of tech journalism. Tech journalism has died. Have any of you seen the front page of PC Mag? Any of you? Also, have any of you seen the front page of the TechBoy? Is us learning about some sock that Apple made? Because we got hit our 3 article week limit, and we have to worry about articles about Apple socks. Anyway, tech journalism is dead. Let's go over to PC Mag, which is one of the largest tech magazines, and they were great back then. I wasn't alive, but yeah, I can read some of the archives on sites. Anyway, let's look at the PC Mag front page here. Why I'm not upgrading to the Switch 2. 31 tricks to use Windows 11. Some random Black Friday deal. Oh, guys, look, it's another deal. Something about having secure passwords. All right, now if we want to go read, look at all these deals. Best Buy deal, a TV deal, another deal, and another deal. And you guys want to go read some, high-tech thing. More deals. How to turn M dashes off of ChatGPT. Tell it not to write M dashes. Boom. Is your Gmail inbox fixed? Yeah, guys, you're writing about Gmail in the year 2025, 21 years after Gmail came out. Want to go look at a laptop review, guys? Let's look at the laptop review of the, that's $204. Let's do this one. Okay, yeah, $795 on Amazon. Let's see what this person does on his laptop review. And I'm not trying to be mean to PC Mag, guys. I still like them. I'm just saying, when we scroll through this review, what do we see here? Copilot plus PC. They go through some of the configurations and the specs. They show you some port images as well. They talk about the display. But did they tell you what you can really do on this as well? Are they talking about the bleeding cutting edge of technology? Is this really a computer magazine where they tell you all like in depth on specs and stuff like that? No. Okay, look, this website is half Amazon affiliate codes, half random surface level topical review stuff that I obviously could do if I had access to the laptops. I mean, I was able to do this back when I was 13, just without access to said technology. I just don't want to do reviews of technology that we don't have anymore because I can do tech news. But tech journalism is dead, and it's so very sad. And people have shared the sentiment online as well. I mean, let's check the comments here. Tech journalism it has just become so boring. Anything about it. I mean, it's half affiliate codes as well. These people are saying that they're seeing a whole bunch of focus on artificial intelligence and AI-generated articles, which is fine, but it doesn't need to be in every single article. And, of course, they sponsored affiliate reviews. There we go. Journalism, they say, is, of course, close to dead, which is why I talked about having my application that's based kind of like Citizen, where it shows you, why more journalism people not using Citizen to report the news? I mean, like I said, someone's house got broken in multiple times, and I have not seen a single news story about it. Why? And no, don't tell me to go start a news agency. I'm not doing that. Okay. Well, I might, but no, I know. I can't. Okay, we don't have cable. Anyway, let's see here as well. Digital tech in this position. Chad Jewell gets it. Digital tech was mastered about 10 years ago. Like I talked about, the kids on the cell phones in 2004, right? Their tech was pretty good. But when you talk about the technology, when I like to go back and read reviews of old technology, the S7 Edge is almost 10 years old at this point. It's from 2016, 9 years old. The S7 Edge, as a review, kind of still holds up today. You're doing some of the same stuff as well. Even some of the A-series phones from back then, the A5, A7, we're back doing the same stuff as well. When you look at the specs of the stuff, and it's the same thing, especially when everything has gone to become web-based. And because everything's gone to become web-based, when you review a laptop, you're like, oh, guys, good, look, it's a screen, a keyboard, you got 16 gigabytes of RAM, you got your 512 gigabyte SSD. All right, we're done here. I mean, really, you have the operating system. It's been the same operating system for the past 20 years. It's always going to be Windows on Mac OS, maybe a Chromebook, but that's it. You don't really need to read much into any of that. I mean, it's really hard to make a trash laptop nowadays. This person talks about, game magazines. It's, game magazines. They always, they're horrible. And the content of these tech magazines is very surface level as well. I mean, I have my homepage set to go to tech news on here. Let's go to the technology news section on Google News. And let's look at the most basic, most boring headlines you have ever seen of all time. Gemini gets a homepage redesign. This is on the front page. This is the #1 leading article here. We're talking about this. 4 4 articles about this. This is the number one thing in technology that's happening, is that Gemini gets a homepage redesign. Are you kidding me? Apple AirPods are on sale now. Whoop-de-doo. We got a Samsung Galaxy Trifold, something interesting. But again, the same thing is, what are you going to do on this? I mean, what are we going to call this? A tablet? A phone? They're comparing some phone lineups. Okay. Oh, the OnePlus 15. We'll get to that today. They finally came out with it. And then some game launch. Not really anything interesting. Honestly, nothing in depth. Nothing that's explaining technology. Nothing that's even, historical, anything like that as well. Nothing. And it's annoying. Speaking of annoying, gotta talk about this other comment here. So from a movie subreddit where people are talking about the movie Don't Look Up, which is a movie about an asteroid that's about to hit Earth, and then people say that they can't see it, and then they say it's an analogy for climate change because, as you guys know, climate change, which is invisible and kind of iffy on science, is totally the same thing as an entire asteroid coming towards Earth. Yeah, absolutely the same thing. And this person was whining about media literacy, which I guess media literacy is important. It's like every person who gets excited about media literacy or who gets mad that media literacy is dead is the most annoying person. It's like the people who hate artificial intelligence. Almost 99% of the time, the people who hate artificial intelligence are the most annoying people. Okay, they're like, oh guys, I'm an audio speech to play to make and I don't want to use AI. You're lazy. Shut up. Okay. Anyway, this person was talking about media literacy. I oppose media literacy just on the grounds that the people who support it are annoying. Okay, I will oppose anything if the people in there are annoying. And this quote, the sad thing about it is that the actual people who watched it and thought it was about a media, like just the media, no allegory, no subtext, no connection to current events, just another disaster media movie. Media literacy is in such a willful state. Yes, people don't go around watching movies and then start thinking about climate change. That's not a thing normal people do. Okay, no, yeah, sure, it was a parody movie. It's probably trash. I didn't see it, but still, that doesn't really make sense. And back onto the depth of tech journalism, we also have the depth of multimedia software. And as you guys know, my favorite piece of multimedia software, Encarta, was discontinued in 2009. And I've reviewed it. It's a great piece of software. It even has things that 100 gigabytes of Wikipedia doesn't have, including interactive maps and music and videos and things that made multimedia software great. That's what made computers great back in the early 2000s. Was other than the people who were dieting around with the stuff, you could actually do things with it. I mean, Microsoft Solitaire and Pinball is much better than the stupid ad-infested web-based solitaire and classic games that we have now. Microsoft Encarta still holds up against Wikipedia today, and they even had some nice sort of hyperlinking system, and they had offline games in there that are actually fun to play, according to people. Now, of course, these are the same people who are saying that, parties didn't exist, so we can't really trust them anymore. But let's pull up Microsoft Encarta, and this is running on Windows 11, so it might be a little bit sketchy. But let me see if I can show you this on the screen. This is Microsoft Encarta Kids Edition. This is from 2009, and imagine this. Let's go to history. And look at this. Isn't this so cool? Working entirely offline. Let's go to, and you have all these pictures here. Let's do the flag of the United States. And you have all of this as well. You have pictures. You can see all the pictures in here. And you can even see some sources at the bottom if it was in the regular version of Encarta. So much better than Wikipedia, honestly. And you can click around like this. All of this working entirely offline. I mean, it's great. And let me see if I can pull up the regular version of Encarta as well. There we go. Encarta Premium DVD 2009. I don't want to help you rip this off. What is that sound? Hope you guys can't hear that. It sounds like the software's dying. What is going on? All right, it's opening. It's loading. All right, hope you guys can see this on the screen. There we go. Encarta. And let's look at this, guys. Let's do games and fun stuff. They even had 3D tours in here, arts and culture, geography, virtual tours, maps. I want you guys to see the maps. Look at all this, all linking to each other, working perfectly well without needing access to the internet and having good information in it built in. And now with much more powerful computers, look at this atlas here. I think maybe with much more powerful computers, you can use artificial intelligence. Look at this entire atlas working, not on Google Earth, completely offline. It doesn't work. It doesn't need any of that. You can zoom in, you can zoom out, or all the way in. A complete atlas here. Let's go in. Let's go look at here. No. You can even click on stuff about this, and you can find stuff out about the cities. You can read a map about the city of Houston. You can read an article about the city of Houston. I mean, think about it. You could sit for hours, and instead of staring at the bluebirds, you could be playing with your Encarta 2009 software. Much better than staring at the bluebirds. You can read this. Click this. You can probably read an article about the Atlantic Ocean. You can see a map of it. You can read an article about this. And I really like the statistical software that they had on here. Let's look at the statistics. Let's see if we want to see the cell phone adoption rate of someone in 2004. All we have to do is click around. I can't really see because of the streaming software is covering it up. So I'm going to make it bigger. Hide. Yeah, there you go. Statistics table. So you can choose your statistic here at the bottom. Let's say you want to see communications. You want to say mobile cell phones per 100 people in the year 2005. Yeah, there we go. Boom. What is it in the United States? 680 for every 1,000 people. What is it in Russia? 883 for every 1,000 people. Well, I mean, there's not that many people in Russia, so that makes sense. What is it in Israel? They have more cell phones than people somehow. What is it in Australia? Almost 1-to-1. So isn't this super cool? I mean, you could sit here and do this for hours. Complete multimedia software here. You got maps. You can see what it looks like at day. You can see what it looks like at nighttime. I mean, let's go back here. What other stuff did they have in here? Let's go check in games and fun stuff. Some of this stuff may not work, but let's see. Look at this. History of cars. You need Flash Player, but unfortunately, that doesn't work. But, there's so many fun quizzes, stuff that you could do. Why does stuff like this not exist? You look at multimedia software. Let's go to the top software directories of our time, and what do we see? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's just a whole bunch of web-based slop. I mean, it's so sad that we have let multimedia software die. And I was actually looking at this. There was a great software idea that Facebook has, is that they turn Facebook into a dating application. And I know this is web-based, and I think that's an amazing idea by Facebook. And I think, why cannot Instagram, the much more popular application, do this, but not for dating, but for friendship? I mean, they already have the data. They got age, they got the reels, they got the likes, they got the dislikes. They can use this. Just put some little skin over the top of it, and you would have the greatest friend-making app of all time. Maybe much more better than Wiz, which is a horrid application. It doesn't even work. When they put it into Facebook, why can't they put it onto Instagram? I do not know. What are they doing? It would be the next great tech development of this generation. And then it could become the everything application. Make Meta AI a little bit better. You got your chat in there, you got your image generation, you got your pictures, it's your gallery. You can store all of that stuff as well. Turn it into the next Snapchat. And then you can use it turn it into a friend making application. Boom. Absolutely boom. Good. But they're not really doing anything. I don't know why. The lack of ambition is just so very sad. Let's go check in with the OnePlus 15 from Mr. Wait, did Mr. Boss do it? If he doesn't, I'm going to watch his. No, he didn't. Mr. Marquez Brown, he did it. So we're going to do Mr. Mobile. I know we did it last time, but I like his reviews. Let's look at this. They said it lasts a really long time. That's great. That'd be a great feature because my S24 Ultra is on death's door all the time. I mean, I use my phone and it just dies for some reason. I don't know why. So sad. Anyway, I hope you guys can see this on the screen. Oh, no, wrong thing. All right, let's go look into the OnePlus 15. I do like the design.
Sponsored by Surfshark. Okay, I got a little problem. I can't kill this phone.
but I don't think I can carry it either.
This phone is the OnePlus 15.
Look at this design. Like I was saying, I do like it. 3 cameras on here. It kind of try to. They don't try to hide
And
it.
depending on your perspective,
with the flash. Some of these people try to hide a fake one.
it's either a gaming phone disguised as a conventional Android or an Android disguised as an iPhone. Personally, neither one appeals to me, nor does OnePlus recycling an existing design for its latest global flagship.
I mean, yeah, but no one's going to really notice that. I know there's that story about that kid who didn't paint some piece of the boat because no one was going to know about it, and then they told him to paint the boat, and then they fly over the Statue of Liberty. Just because they say, oh, well, no, he wouldn't have known that the Statue of Liberty, to do the hair of the Statue of Liberty because planes didn't exist when it was made. And that's why you should always do your work or something like that. It's some convoluted, contrived story. But the point is, no one's going to know what this phone looks like. I like the design, and phones look like phones. Okay, the phone is not the Statue of Liberty, so it's fine.
But there are good reasons OnePlus made this phone the way it did, and good reasons to buy it. It turns out there are big benefits to building an OP that's also OP.
Power, performance, responsiveness. A couple of decades of computer marketing superlatives have rendered these terms all but meaningless
I mean, if you think about it, the average user is not really using half the power of their phone, which is so sad.
today, blending into the background. And that's a problem if you're a brand like OnePlus, which has always relied heavily on power to sell its smartphones.
So rather than regurgitate whatever gimmicky nonsense this is,
I mean, it is fun, though.
OnePlus has embraced mobile gaming as a focus to give all that power something to do. There's the new 165Hz.
Yeah, but the problem is, there's not really any good games. Speaking of gaming, the what's it called? Bong NG, which it's not called Bong NG. Beam NG. Yeah, sorry. I always get the name wrong. Pick a better name, okay? Maybe you shouldn't name your software after a piece of a domain. Anyway, Beam NG, which is not a game. It's supposed to be like a physics simulation software where you drive the cars around and you can emulate physics. I'm trying it out. I'm reviewing it. I'm trying to see if the physics is realistic. They say it's supposed to be. I'm not really sure about that because I ran into a fence and the fence didn't break. So there is that. But, hopefully we can learn some good physics applications from this as well. Hopefully, maybe we can get a mobile port of it as well because I'll be able to use that a lot more. Also, when you talk about Beam and G, maybe we can scan in our own cars. Oh, what if we scanned in some Hot Wheels and put them in there? Also, like, what software do they use? And I always have these questions. No one knows the answers to them. What software do they use to Hot Wheels racetracks? Not game software. They test out the Hot Wheels racetracks before they, actually make to make sure that the car. People used to do hacking back in the 90s. They wanted to see, what kind of software that people were using. But nowadays, people are just using everything on the web base. Google Docs, Canva. Google, multi-million-dollar companies probably just using, Google Docs and Figma or whatever. So sad.
Hertz display designed for smooth frame rates in games, even though it comes at the cost of slightly reduced resolution compared to the OnePlus 13. There's a new cooling system to try to keep that top-shelf Snapdragon from overheating. A new CPU scheduler to reclaim system resources during gaming. There's a charging mode that lets you bypass the battery to protect it over long
That'd be nice if you use your phone like it's a clock.
play sessions. A finely tuned gyroscope for motion controls, even the dedicated Wi-Fi.
That's good because I can hardly get things to go in a straight line for me. Like all the time, I always try to drive things remote control, like real life. Nothing goes in a straight line.
Wi-Fi chip is designed to reduce latency for gameplay. But even if you're like me, who can't tell PUBG from Fortnite, overpowering your hardware like this has its advantages. The optimized silicon makes for
there's a petition going out right now. I'm going to tape this for someone. They want me to promote a petition about GTA 6. Guys, make GTA 6 get out. Jalen, what are you doing? Sorry, I'm distracted. Guys, we want GTA 6 to come out faster than whenever GTA 6 comes out. Someone wanted to promote that. So yeah, guys, fix GTA 6. Get it out faster. Okay, we want things to happen so that GTA 6 happens before something happens and people can start making that joke. Yeah, guys. So sign a petition somewhere that will be in this clip to make GTA 6 great or something.
Snappy software. The display is beautiful. The dual speakers, loud, deep, and
That's nice.
the battery. Well, Andy Boxall said it best. The OnePlus 15 is the end of battery anxiety as we know it.
Let's go.
During my 2 weeks with this phone, I have never once managed to kill it in one day. Often, I couldn't even run it dry by the end of the second day.
Dang. Wow. I bet I can edit though. Tons of video editing.
On Saturday, I used Google Maps to navigate a 3-hour road trip to a corner of upstate
Honestly, this would be a valid reason just for me to upgrade.
New York with
Or side grade, I guess.
very poor cell coverage. And while I was there, I shot a bunch of camera samples I'll show you shortly.
This thing is a legend.
3 hours of GPS? Bro, 2 hours of GPS on a bus for me. So that means, you don't have to have it plugged into... Why is the power cycling? Anyway, 3 hours of GPS on a bus for me, which means you don't need to have the screen always on. I mean, I might be watching a video or Instagram reel or something like that, but it's not plugged in the heat. It's not using turn-by-turn directions. I'm just using it to watch when I'm supposed to get on my stop. Kill the battery for like 40%. Yeah, that thing's going to be dead. That thing's going to be dying. 14%? Whoa, that is like 5% per hour. Oh my goodness. Wow, that's impressive.
Despite having no network for an entire night and using the phone for more...
Well, that's counterintuitive. Having no network means that it's not having to go out to get the network.
Photo and video the next day, when I got home on Sunday night, I still had 33% left to play with. Back home, endurance is no less important. You know how dependent I am on mobile hotspot when I'm ferrying to and from the office, which is part of the reason my screen on time is usually lower than other reviewers, by the way. This continues to be a deceptive metric that should not be relied upon as much as it is.
No, I think screen on time is a good metric as well as standby time.
But screen on or off, this thing just feels tailor-made for power-hungry usage like mine. At one point, I just decided to abuse it, downloading about 5 system updates to another phone over mobile hotspot, while it also supported connections from 3 other devices. I was watching YouTube the whole time. Oh, and it's been paired with a smartwatch for the entire test period, and I'm almost always listening to Bluetooth earbuds, too. The battery meter barely moved.
That's insane. Hopefully Samsung can do something like this. Come on.
And what's crazy is you don't even need to pay the typical pocket penalty for all that endurance. All 7,300 milliamp hours of this battery fit into an 8.1 millimeter...
I'd be fine buying a phone like this. Honestly.
211 gram package. This is the magic of silicon carbon battery technology. If you're a large-scale smartphone maker and you're not exploring it, I would love to know why. Please get in touch and tell me. Oh, and when you finally do need to charge the phone, whenever that may be, the brick in the box, thank you for including that, OnePlus, will take you from dead to full in less than an hour.
Wow, impressive. And Samsung, why aren't you doing this? Come on.
The only downside from a power perspective is the lack of Qi 2. For MagSafe compatibility, you still need a case.
And don't care.
But all this prompts an inevitable follow-up. A phone that lasts forever is great, as long as you want to use it. For me, that's not always a guarantee, but that's based mostly on reasons you may not care about. Using a VPN is like wearing pants. No, it's not the camera that turns me off about this one, and
I wanted to stuff that Hasselblad partnership.
I'm rather surprised by that, actually. When OnePlus announced it was letting lapse its partnership with camera veteran Hasselblad, I feared the worst. And to be clear, I do miss goodies like X-Pan and Hasselblad film emulation.
I mean, there's probably a way, the OnePlus community filled with a bunch of hackers. Which does remind me, Steam gaming, and Linux gaming is like up at 3%, which is gamers and Linux users, the same people at 3%. That is a sign of judgment. That is a sign of judgment on the nation. I mean, that is horrible. I mean, I don't hate gamers. I don't hate the Linux users, but you combine them to get gamers and Linux users. They're the most annoying people on the internet. Oh my gosh, 3%. You should not. No. But anyway, like I was saying, the community of these hackers, modders, and developers can probably get the Hasselblad filters up and working. I mean, it's a camera filter. It's a camera filter. They'll get it fixed.
It's also odd that this phone's Oppo equivalent preserves the Hasselblad branding on its own cameras across the corporate aisle from OnePlus. But in use, I found I just didn't care all that much, because the filters available here are at least similar to what we had before.
Yeah, well, filters, that's Team Gold coded. And as you guys know, it is horrible for having one of them mad at you for something.
And yes, I realize it's kind of cheating to rely on filters to add character to photos, but the whimsical paint jobs, interesting architecture, and dramatic autumn scenery
Wow, that's a nice photo. You could sell that.
of upstate Phoenicia and Tannersville just seemed to cry out for more opinionated colors, and I'm glad the phone could accommodate. Closer to home, the 2-week review period gave me the chance to shoot with the OnePlus 15 in a wider range of surroundings than usual. Ashore, I got clips of the New York City Marathon, behind-the-scenes shots of a sponsored project with Qualcomm, a recording session out at MKBHD headquarters for an upcoming episode of the Waveform podcast, and some snaps from the media briefing for the new Even Realities smart glasses. Stay tuned. Back on the water, I captured Queen Mary.
And he used this for a lot. Wow.
Mary 2, newly returned from my 100-mile smartwatch review adventure. And I got a series of sunny and shady crossings on ferries both Staten Island and otherwise, with New York Harbor offering many chances to try out both the phone's 3.5x optical zoom and its 7x lossless mode. Possibly owing to the smaller sensors this year, images can come out a little soft in low light, so you're going to have the same trouble with fast-moving subjects as you do with most phones. And ditto the zoom troubles, with janky lens transitions in video. And
Man, I wish OnePlus was better at this, because, they do have those fast animation stuff.
And the scourge of AI processing, just, making things up in extreme telephoto settings. But
I'm a fan of AI.
if I weren't in my line of work, I'd be fine carrying this as my primary camera for a year. And the most surprising recurring frustration I had with it wasn't really about the camera. It was that I kept reaching for a button that wasn't there.
To be clear, it's not that I wanted OnePlus to copy Apple's troubled camera control. It's that the OnePlus 15 already feels so much like an iPhone that it activated the same sector of muscle memory in my brain, and I kept hunting for a button that wasn't there, even as I chafed about all the other Cupertino copying.
If you're not a phone nerd, nothing I'm about to say will actually matter to you, so take the win, pay $8.99, and enjoy this everlasting Android. But as a phone nerd who has a lot of
So cool.
admiration for what OnePlus has accomplished in its
OnePlus 9 was kind of me.
12 years, it's disappointing to see the company sacrifice its distinctive visual identity in order to ape the iPhone like nearly everyone else.
And by nearly everyone else, it just means Chinese phone companies. The South Korean ones are great.
It'd be one thing if it only copied Apple's good ideas, but there's no such
Apple doesn't have any good ideas. What are we talking about?
discernment here. The stupid thumb-stretching split notification
Samsung did that, but we did an article on how to turn them off, so that's great.
and control center is on by default. Dynamic Island has been copied wholesale, despite it not being necessary
With that screen protector, it makes it look cheap.
on hardware with a tiny hole-punch camera. The unpopular liquid glass has been brought over in half-assed form as Illuminance animation.
Yeah, I've wondered how they've coded liquid glass. I'd like to see how they did that, because it's really cool. All the calculations they have to do.
Great, thanks. The alert slider has been replaced by a plus key, whose ripoff of Apple's action button extends even to the interface.
Wow.
Armchair Android historians will counterclaim that Android had shortcut keys first, and they're right. But Android has always let the user do more with it.
I'm pretty sure you can download the third-party app to fix it, right?
This would have been a great opportunity to build on that old idea, but instead, OnePlus
It's
slavishly
pretty funny how he picks these shortcut keys from phones from like 2018, 2019, when I'm pretty sure there's phones from 2009 that can do this too.
apes Apple's functionality feature for feature, adding only its own AI extension. But even that's not original.
Even yeah, Mr. Mobile kind of hates AI, but at least he's not one of the annoying people. He's like one of the few unannoying AI haters. Like it's annoying that he hates it, but he's fine.
Having been done already by, among others, Nothing, the company led by former OnePlus co-founder Carl Pei. And at least Nothing, for now, doesn't shovel its AI slop to the foreground
Hey, that's one thing I don't like. It's not slop. This is high tech. It's at the precipice of technology, the forefront of victory, and you're just sitting around calling it slop? Disrespectful.
Time you're in a text field, offering to rewrite your human words with lowest common denominator data farmed.
Have you seen what these people are writing on threads? Okay, yeah, y'all need help. In AI is your help. I use the AI on my phone all the time.
Detritus. Stop it.
No, we'll not stop it. We'll keep it. The people like it. The people gonna get what they want.
All this is packaged up in this handsome, but ultimately anonymous surrender to the minimalist agenda.
Yeah, well, the minimalist agenda is stupid, so.
Gone are the comfortable faux leather, bold camera module, and distinctive
Leather is not minimalist.
colorway of the OnePlus 13, all replaced by a vanilla slab for a vanilla
Oh, is he saying that this phone is minimal? Oh, okay, yeah. Anyway, minimalism's stupid.
consumer. Protect it more thoroughly from the elements than any phone that's come before, but with nothing in its design to visually reinforce that special capability.
Like what? A water droplet?
I'm not saying I want a rubber-clad doogie or another red hydrogen, although something like Red Magic with its visible liquid cooling loop might have been fun. But I'd respect any of those more than hardware that seems afraid to say anything other than we have iPhone at home.
Yeah, that's real interesting analysis there by Mr. Mobile. Let's see if I can cut over to my YouTube studio so we can do our Teen of the Week. Lily, what? All right. Let's see what other. Oh yes, yeah. Podestia. Podestia is so funny. And let's just show you guys this. Yeah, Podestia be like, yeah, guys, fog machine's bad or whatever, but they won't actually say that. They want their fans to say that. Yeah, Podestia knows what they're doing. Yeah, here you go. Let's go look at Podestia over here. So this is some woman who is a worship pastor. Stop crying, Lizzie. And let's play the video. Let's make it. I have no idea what this stream.
In the office, we are going to be working on tracks. It's 11 a.m. and I still haven't had
This is a full-time job? Goodness gracious.
coffee at this point, so I must take a little pick-me-up. As far as
Look at this again, guys. The service software. This looks like a website. Plannings into online.
tracks go, we use
Look at
playback.
this. Finally, something offline. Look at this high-tech stuff over here. Even though it's on a Mac. I hate Macs.
I'm personally more of a fan of Ableton, but this is a pretty user-friendly software, and as I upload the songs onto the set list, I always will mute bass tracks, drum tracks, vocal tracks. As far as fire
Hey guys, hey, remember when I said that church was scripted? And then Humble 33696 says what I'm not really that huge a fan of music. I don't know. I guess upbeat music's better. All these people are gonna come. Hymns, blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Anyway.
firing tracks go, I like to use a small little MIDI keyboard, which I can show you if you would like a little tutorial. Leading up to the service, I also like to set the transition points, whether you have to fire the next song or it'll over.
You mean all those people jumping around? What's fake? News at 11, people. News at 11. And only coming at me at, well, see, if you didn't use the computer, no, it's all, no, sorry.
Overlap. I also, at the end of the last song, like to add a looping clip. Also use playback to run lyrics on Pro Presenter, so I just make sure that the correct arrangement.
Look at this, high tech. And of course, I can see you guys look at this high tech. This is great. It's great that this is a job that picking songs for church. Like, how many services does church have? 50? Like, How is this your full-time job? But anyway, it's great that you got a job in this, but of course people are going to be, well, no, use a computer. Oh, no, not a computer. No, not a fog machine. No, not LED screens. It says the church would save so much money by firing her and ordering him to... No. That would take me like an hour. Well, I don't see Christ anywhere, just a social media manager setting up autoplay content to a concept of auto-tune. That's really funny because, like, when he goes scroll over here at the 20-second mark, you literally see a screen that says Jesus. Let's see if you guys can see this on the screen. So, I guess that commenter must have been blind or something. I don't know. Which, would be really, really sad for him. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's unfortunate for him. Anyway, assistant to the worship pastor. I'm guessing in Christian church schools, it's like a circular firing squad. It's a church with big production. Oh, this person is actually a positive comment. Just effects. Just time the video herself shows how hard she works. What's the phrase? Oh, look at me. Look at how important I am. Yeah, guys, get lives, honestly. Anyway, let's go cut to our team of the week. I have no idea why the screen sharing is working like this today. I have no idea
what are you interested in?
Definitely say I'm a big reader. I like to read. I also do a lot of sports. I do flag football, I do competitive swim, and also I do a lot of martial arts. I do jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, and boxing. I've done all of those, and I plan to continue to do them.
Oh man, if I knew you in real life, we'd probably be best friends because I'm a huge reader and I like football. It's my favorite sport.
All right, that's great, guys. Make sure you check out the team of the week. Yeah, I hate how it's picturing the swords because it makes it hard to show on the screen. But that's what we have for today. Let's just check the notes here as well. And as you guys know, I will continue to investigate. Oh, wait, one more thing. Let's go check in for a fan that's named right. Let's go check in. Is BYU winning? Let's see if they're winning. Oh, they haven't played yet. What time do they play? 9:15. Kid, please. I am not podcasting for 45 more minutes, so we can check scores. But let's go check in. BYU's 12. Oh, you got destroyed by this ranking committee. Who knows what they're doing? Oh my goodness. Let's look at the college football rankings. Well, I guess scores. There's rankings. Wait, is Texas winning? Oh my gosh, Georgia's winning 14-3 at halftime. Well, it's over. Oh well. Anyway, well, God bless. Tech Talk. See you later.